CEL, Communications and Entertainment Limited.
Hello, welcome to another film in the Bill Collins movie collection. Joseph L Mankiewicz's film of William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, arguably one of the 3 or 4 best films ever made from a work by William Shakespeare. The film was produced by John Houseman, who produced Orson Welles' modern dress version of Julius Caesar on stage in the late 30s. John Houseman said, "In making this film, I faced the formidable task of translating Shakespeare's bloody and turbulent melodrama into a medium where both mass emotions and personal conflict can be more closely observed and more fully revealed than through the established forms of theatrical production. Yet while exploiting the camera's brooding mobility, we must be careful not to substitute effect for tension, not to betray, as some Shakespearean movies have, the dramatic unity of the work as a whole." With music by Mikolos Rozsa, beautifully designed to enhance the emotional impact of Julius Caesar, we have an extraordinary cast. Louis Calhoun, directed by John Houseman in a production of King Lear prior to this film, plays the aging Julius Caesar, a very interesting and controversial characterization. Greer Garson is Calpurnia, Caesar's wife, who must be above reproach. Marlon Brando, an extraordinary piece of casting, made sure that Marlon Brando would become one of the focal points for everybody's interest when the film was first released. He was coached for some of the passages he speaks by John Gielgud himself. James Mason as Brutus, the noblest Roman of them all, perhaps, and a wonderful performance from Mr. Mason. Deborah Carr plays his wife Portia, a beautiful performance only briefly observed. Edmund O'Brien as the envious Casca, down to earth and true. John Gielgud as Cassius, truly one of the most remarkable performances you'll ever see on the screen. And his scenes with James Mason are among the finest in the film. You may care to note Michael Pate appears in Julius Caesar, as does John Hoyt, also George Macready. It's a wonderful film, urgent, passionate, and very exciting. And note, music by Mikolos Rozsa. What an exciting film. I hope you've enjoyed Julius Caesar. I think it's tremendous that the film was directed by Joseph L Mankiewicz, a master at what he calls théâtre filmé, filmed theatre. An actor so great with films in which dialogue and emotions are so important. And of course, beautifully produced by John Houseman. Is this the moral of Julius Caesar? In William Shakespeare's words, striving to better, oft we mar what's well. Food for thought there. If you'd like to investigate Julius Caesar further, find out more about the making of the film, and also have provocative points for discussion and analysis, you might care to obtain a copy of a study guide I have written on Julius Caesar, the play and the film. If you'd like a copy of this study guide, write to me, care of your nearest CEL office. and I'll ensure that a copy is forwarded to you as soon as possible. Here are 3 other important titles in the Bill Collins movie collection. The classic film version of Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion, directed by Anthony Asquith and Leslie Howard, starring Leslie Howard and Wendy Hiller, with editing by David Lean and music by Arthur Honegger. It's a remarkable film, a film for many, many, many viewings. I love it, and so did Bernard Shaw. The Women, from the witty play by Claire Booth. A film with no men in it. Norma Shearer, Joan Crawford, Rosalind Russell, and an outstanding cast. It's a wonderful film. And finally, Broadway Melody of 1938, a vintage musical classic from MGM with Robert Taylor, Eleanor Powell, George Murphy, a fabulous cast, and Judy Garland in her first MGM feature. Wonderful films, I believe, that I want to share with you in the Bill Collins movie collection. And here are some of the great titles from the Bill Collins movie collection. The magnificent musical, The Great Waltz, the drama, I'll Be Seeing You, the fabulous Lassie Come Home from Eric Knight's novel, Since You Went Away, a beautiful drama with Claudette Colbert, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof from Tennessee Williams, The Garden of Allah, a beautiful romance, Grand Hotel with Greta Garbo and Joan Crawford, and Mutiny on the Bounty with Charles Lawton and Clark Gable.
CEL, Communications and Entertainment Limited.